OK，那我们就进入下午的工作坊的 section。我看一下，诶，我们的 Alex 副教授已经到了哦。
Testing one two three，
OK，
收到吗？听到
呀呀，
吗
有，OK，好，
？Perfect。
那我们就接着下午的 section 哦。
好
OK
好好
啊，
，OK，
OK，OK，Thank
谢什么
you，
？Right，good afternoon everyone. Now I'll be using English, but of course if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can be it English, Malay, Chinese, I can understand. So afternoon session, we're going to do something a little bit more hands-on because I think usually after lunch, people tends to a bit be more sleepy already. Right, just to briefly share with you my background, okay? Just a bit of my background. Um, this is my name, okay, Bunyik. My colleague, my friends all call me Alex, so you can call me Alex as well. Um, I will share with you my email address as well. In a while, yeah. Maybe I should just put it in here. I put it in the chat box so that if you need anything, you want to discuss with me after this, you can always email me, or you can check with the organizer. Okay. Now, let's move on to what we want to cover. What I want to share with you today. I want to share with you today is prompt engineering and also how to make use of ChatGPT API. Okay. Now, just a brief introduction about my work. Okay, I mean, many people sometimes they confuse me with the kind of AI experts. Yeah, so AI experts, to me, is those who actually create and design AI models. Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not one of those. I am the one who actually use them. So I'm a more of, you can think of me of the more applied artificial intelligence. Okay, I'm using them to solve a lot of things, especially a lot of problems, especially Internet of Things. Now we are moving towards to the artificial intelligence of things. So if you look at the whole process, now basically we always have sensors to sense the environment. From there, we will transmit the data to the cloud. Now, having only receiving data, monitoring, getting the data, it can be sound, it can be vibrations, it can be images, but it has actually does not really have much use if we cannot help people to focus or identify the problem. Yeah. So imagine that you have many CCTV around your house. You put lots of them, 360-degree, view your house, your palace. Now the thing is, imagine the amount of data that stream to you every minute, every second is overwhelming. I mean, there's no way you can process them yourself. Am I right? Yeah. I mean, you won't be want to have a mansion and then you sit down there every day just to look at the videos. And even if you hire people to do it, people get tired and will still miss important events. So therefore, there is when the AI comes into picture. So when you have AI, we can actually delegate this kind of jobs to the AI to look for things like intruders, things that are not supposed to happen, interesting event, and then notify um the owner or the stakeholders. Yeah. So I built many of these systems, yeah, from end to end, and I mean in general work, uh people also call it as artificial intelligence of things, yeah. And I work in different I work as consultant for different industry, yeah. Manufacturing, agriculture, environment, retail, and logistics. Of course, my main job is a lecturer in University Tunku Abdul Rahman. That's what I see at the bottom there. Yeah. So if you have any questions on like how to apply artificial intelligence, yeah, feel free to try me. Okay. If I don't have the answer for you immediately, yeah, give me some time. Maybe I'll reply you in a short while. Yeah. Okay. So what I want to share with you today. I want to share with you today is how to use ChatGPT. I suppose many of you already know. We'll go a little bit more on this prompt engineering. I also believe that many people find that yeah, it's interesting, but you might or might not have try all the feature yet. Yeah, so maybe if I have chance today, we can look into them. Okay, if you have any questions you have in mind, feel free to let me know as well. Let me open up my chat. I think you guys can chat here. Let me see if we can chat. Okay, I turn on my chat here as well. So if you need ask me any question, just feel free to type there. Yeah. If I didn't see you, signal me as well. That's one thing. Now, we'll try to do a little a bit on more on the hands-on. So it will be best if you just don't sit and listen. Let's do along as well. Okay. So what you need to do for this one, I will need you to have your ChatGPT account. Okay, it can be the free one. It should be fine. Yeah. And then we'll try our way of prompting questions. Then the next one, the next part. So the second part will be on the API. No, I believe many of you have done programming before. Am I right? So now imagine if you want to convert, or want to bring in the feature, the ability of ChatGPT into your application, into your software. How do you do it? Yeah, we do it through API. So as a programmer, as a system developer, I love API. Yeah, because API really reduce a lot of our problem. Yeah, basically you can think of it as like kind of outsourcing. You outsource some of the very important thing. Now in this case, today we're going to build one very interesting app as well. Together, okay, together. I'm hoping that if you are love programming like me, we can do it through this session. Now, I suppose all of you know how to do Python programming. Anyone have problem with Python programming? Um, do you have your computer with you? That's one thing first. You get your computer, and then first thing first, get yourself install a Python. Yeah. Okay. Just the quick one. For those who are not familiar, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick guide on how to set up this. Yeah. Put on some up here. Hide this. Okay. First thing first. Let's get yourself set up with some Python. Yeah. So you open up your store. This is what I need you to do. Your Microsoft Store, if you're using a Windows operating system, I suppose you are. Now, of course, if you're not, if you're using Linux or Mac, you just have to find how to install Python. So then you search for Python, yeah. Then once you search for a Python, there's a button there. You press get. Okay, then you just leave it there. So we'll try to set up now, so you have some time while we are waiting, so we don't have to waste time waiting for the setup later. So you go here, look for Python, all right, and then yep, there are quite a number of Python versions. Don't worry, you pick the one that is you can pick the one that 3.12 is okay. I'm actually using 3.9. I'm trying to update yesterday. The machine that you're looking at is not the my daily drive. It's actually for my presentation. So that's why you see it has a very clean desktop. Yeah. So it's not my main development or my main machines. It's actually meant for testing. So you can always try. Let me stop that. Just click one of them. Let's say, for example, this guy. You can go in and then just press get. All right. And this is very nice because this one will help you to install the Python into your Windows. Now, once you install the Python, I need you to do me another favor. So we're going to use two things here. Another one will be your VS Code. Okay, I believe some of you have been who love to do programming. I am sure you know what is VS Code. Yes, try download this and install it in your computer as well. We're going to write our program with this. So let me give you the link in the chat box. Yep, I share you the chat box. There's a link. You can download this and then you install it. Now, meanwhile, while I'm actually going through the part one, I just need you to do me a favor. Install the Python. And the VS Code. Would that be nice? Would that be okay? Okay, so I suppose everyone is okay. Yeah. If not okay, please let me know. Then I will continue this. So once you have that, I will later show you how to use the API, and I promise you we're going to build an application that you can use yourself every day. That's something I love it as a programmer. I like to develop software that I can use. So I'm going to show you one of the software that I use, when I find it very convenient. So we build some app for ourselves. Now, I'm not sure about you. This is my favorite scene from Doctor Strange. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Marvels, so I hope you guys are as well. So have you got if you have watched Doctor Strange, then I really find this part really really interesting, really funny because yeah, we should actually read the whole thing, especially the warnings. Many people don't read the warning and the disclaimer first. So when they start using something, they always forgotten to read about the important part of it. So therefore, in order not to repeat the same mistakes, what I'm trying to do is I try to bring it forward to all of us, the warning part first. Yeah. So is it the problem with artificial intelligence is actually it's not a problem. The thing is, it suddenly become very user friendly. Okay, actually AI has been around for very very long. In fact, it's so into our life that we actually didn't really bother. For instance, the first thing you take up your digital camera when you snap, you realize that not the first picture that you take, and then you wait for a few seconds, all right, you realize that your photos, is brightened, and how much brightness that we need to put into that photos is actually decided by a software or a program. And that is actually one kind of artificial intelligence. Yeah. And when you are going into a building, sometimes you have lift. Now you press, you're waiting for the lift. Some more modern buildings, you realize that the lift operates like has a mind on its own, right? So that it actually operate in a very efficient way to bring people around. Now, these are the things that have been around for very long, just that whether or not you pay enough attention to observe them. And then come along large language model. Now, actually, large language model made available to public, I think, around 2021. But actually, before that, we already have it. But usually, it's only among the academic. And of course, what I have to admit is that the growth it went very, very faster. If you look at it, it's really, really exponential, especially in the size and the ability of the large language model. And here comes a warning, because many people use it because they don't understand how it works behind the scene. We tend to have a feeling like, wow, the computer is really, really intelligent. And you start to accidentally, or I would say that putting too much trust onto it, and then you start to take its work as your own work, and that is where the danger comes in. Yeah. So in other words, we have to view AI as a tool. Yeah. You have to look at it AI as a tool. AI are not here to replace us. Yeah. So therefore, you have to be very understand. You have to understand that. And this is the next thing I want to share is that how to use it responsibly. Now, it is important that you have to understand that we have to be even much more knowledgeable now. To what extent? To the extent that we have to able to judge the outcome of the AI, yeah, the content that generated by AI before we actually use it. Now, this is very, very important. So, like for example, I suppose that most of us are most of our audience here are school students. Now, I'm going to show you some ways to help you to solve your mathematics questions in no time. Now, the question is, can you actually use AI to solve the mathematical questions and then submit as your homework? Now, that is not responsible way of using it. Yeah, it's very clear cut. We did not learn, and we're using AI to solve it for us, and then we just put it into our assignment or our submission, and then this is my work. That is not right. So again, but then the AI can do that already. You might question, yeah, why do I still want to learn that? Now, let me move the scenario a bit. Now, come to think of it, many of us like to ask AI lots of questions, right? Now, of course, for example, you want to generate letters, you want to generate a poem, song, yeah, those are fine, okay? Because in a way, you can actually judge whether or not the content is suitable for you, whether it's that they don't have a really truth of correct or wrong, but you know that, yeah, I love this letter. I think this letter is good. Yeah, it's suitable for me to use. Not too, it's very clear, all the meaning that you want is inside there. Yeah, that is the thing that you read it, So in other words, you are knowledgeable enough to judge it. Okay, judge it that, yes, suitable. Then you can use the letter. Okay, now in other words, now let's say you're not feeling well. Okay, you have some headache, your leg pain. Then you write it, you ask AI, what is going on, and then the AI suddenly prescribe you some medicine. Now the question is, will you eat the medicine? Or the AI actually suggest you to make a cut at your leg? Will you actually take that advice? You realize that we won't do that. Am I right? We won't do that because we don't have the knowledge to actually judge whether that is correct or wrong. And if you were to follow, it is very, very dangerous. So in other words, if you don't have the ability to judge the content, we are not supposed to use it. Okay? And always think of it like it is just an assistant to us. So like we are using it to help us to do things like, for example, checking if the way I answer is correct. Sometimes we also use it to check, if my things are written it in a way that people can understand, or is it a bit too is there any alternative meanings? Those are the things that we can actually because you can judge, then you use. All right. So this is the part that I want to share, the most important of all. So it's actually the same if you come to think of it. Writing program is also the same thing. You can ask the AI to generate you a lot of codes, but if you cannot tell whether the code is correct or wrong, that will also be another problem, right? It's very difficult to use it. Now, if you use the code that you're not sure is correct or wrong, then it's just like taking a medicine, yeah, which you do not know whether it is suitable. All right. Then, second thing I want to share with you is that now I know AI looks very, very powerful. Then a lot of people love it. But does that mean that all the problem under the sun, let's use AI to solve it? And I don't agree with that. Okay, I don't agree with that. So that, for example, you have two numbers that you want to add together. Those you don't really need to use an AI model just to sum the numbers together for you. Yeah, we have a very well established hardware to do that. Or for example, you want to do some sorting. You want to sort your name list, or you want to sort some data. You want to sort from descending, ascending sorting. I don't think we need an AI to do that as well, because we have very well-known, established, very, very good sorting algorithm. So we don't need that as well. So now the question is, when do we need to use AI? Now this is questions that very, very important, especially for software developers. Sometimes we're like thinking, why don't we just throw everything to the AI, write an interface, wrap it on, and yeah, let it become a super software that can do everything. So let's look into AI. AI is a very big term. I believe Dr. Teo this morning gave you a very, very good introduction of this AI. I just briefly want to go through with you. In general, we can classify AI into two categories. We can call them narrow AI and also general AI. Now, the one that you see in movies are Terminator. I'm not sure if you guys are you guys probably must it's a different generation. You see those movies that have robots that can talk to human, you can, and then the human can instruct the robot to do things that the robot have never seen before. You're not trained to do that, but can mimic human being. Now that is basically we call it artificial general intelligence. And it's very difficult to do, very difficult to achieve. Yeah. As of now, some people think that large language model, like for example, ChatGPT, are AGI. But unfortunately, the answer is no, not yet, not yet. Yeah. Even large language model that we have now, ChatGPT, yeah, that we have, Claude, all the large language model app, they are just language model. Yeah. They are still fall under the category of narrow artificial intelligence. It's just that it gives us a feeling, okay? In fact, a glimpse, I would say, a glimpse into the future of artificial general intelligence, but it is not there yet. So once you understand that, we are still doing narrow artificial intelligence. The AI take over the world still have some work to do, yeah? But of course, we understand that the process will speed up a lot. Okay, so why do we want to use AI? This is a question that I think is very, very important. We have to understand that the AI is actually initially it's designed to solve problem that sometimes the exhaustive or brute force cannot be done anymore. Let's say, for example, this is an example of a game. You see, I'm not sure if you guys play this kind of puzzle before, where you have numbers, 9 boxes, but only 8 of them have the numbers that you can move up, down, left, right, depending on where is the empty space. And then imagine that if I want to use a computer to solve this problem, what we need to do is something like that. We have to give the initial states, which means I have to tell where is the 1, where is the 2, where is the 3, and everything. Oops, I just realized I cannot see my mouse. Number 1, okay, starting at the root there, we call it this is the root. Now you realize that for every time, and every different alternative that we can put in, it will generate a alternative path. And you realize that this path will grow, for some problem, not this one. So some problem, it will grow exponentially large. In other words, it's so large that we cannot use the computational power that we have to do the search in a very as exhaustive every single path to find the solution. So therefore, we have to look for a way, and this way we know this as heuristic. A heuristic way to tell which path is more likely to reach the solution. It might not be the best, but it gets the job done. We call it the suboptimal path. Yeah? So that's where the AI starts to come in. So you realize that the problem space is too large, and we need some way to get it done, in a much more efficient way, to reach to a solution. That's is when you can see if you have such a problem, then AI would be a good tool for you. Otherwise, the good old programming language approach, with our algorithm, is still the better way. Now, since I mentioned AI, actually, if you trace back the history, went back to probably 1940s, 1950s, yeah. And recently, when the large language model came out, it actually shook the world. Why? Actually, what is the special thing about it? It's actually, if you look carefully, is the concept of this syntax versus semantic. Now, if you've been using Microsoft Words, all right, you know that if you type your sentences onto this Microsoft words, word processor, we call it. If you can detect easily, that the grammars, you tells it, oh, this is wrong, you have to correct it, your punctuations, those are what we call syntax. So in other words, if you look at the first sentence that I have here, you would say that, the grammar is correct, right? Now, the second one is very easily to detect by, a software. Way before we have large language model, it will tell you, no, okay, it's not supposed to be this way, okay, it's wrong. But the third one, now you look at the third one, if you don't have a large language model, you use the one that the conventional, our Microsoft words before large language model, you realize that this sentence is nothing wrong. But when we read, we know it is wrong, right? We know that, no, this table cannot be eating the noodles. Unless, of course, the table referring to someone. Yeah, not this table, but rather not tables that we use, but rather someone. Okay, it could be a nickname for a person. Then probably that this statement is correct. Now you realize that the moment you're thinking of this, the semantics, that is the semantics, the meaning, we're talking about the meaning. This is where the large language model perform really, really well. The large language model can actually identify the semantic of our statements. Therefore, it certainly gives us like a leap and bound in the advancement in artificial intelligence. So this is the one. Now, of course, in programming, if you're familiar with programming, you type your code, as long as you put your semicolon correct, your bracket, curly bracket, the tally, you don't have any error. But when you run, the program might not return you the answer that you want, maybe because the logic is not correct. Now that is what we know as semantic. It's much easier to explain through the programming concept. So once the artificial intelligence they have this ability to understand the semantic, it certainly opens up a really, really huge opportunity for all of us to solve really, really interesting problem that that cannot be done prior to 2021. That is the beauty of it. This is why when you're here, you are very lucky, we get to be the earlier one to access them to solve this. Now, this is the idea of syntax versus semantic. Get the idea. Second thing I want to share with you is not only this, but structured versus unstructured. I think Dr. Teo mentioned this as well. Now, what's the difference between structured and unstructured data? Now, this one is also one of the beauty of large language model that can solve this. Now, structured data is something like this. Let me show it to you. For example, this one. Now, can you tell me what is the city name? Yes, very obviously, you will look at here. You look at the JSON, under the JSON. You look at the bottom, there's a city, am I right? And then you say ... oh, below horizon. So you know that this is the city. This is the city. So in other words, this is a structured information. If you or we to write a program to actually extract or to find this information, it can be done easily because all the data are, we call it structured very, very, very well. Now, what is unstructured data? Now, unstructured data that is not, defined properly, for example, videos and audio files. Now, we love to watch, I love to watch movies. I'm not sure about you. Okay, I suppose you guys like to watch, all of us like to watch videos, otherwise TikTok won't be so popular, am I right? Now, do you happen to have this problem that you watch your movies, some very, very nice a part of the episode that you find very nice, but sometimes you've forgotten, you want to do a search. Do you realize that it's very, very difficult to search? You have to click, open, run the video, you have to jump here and there, manually press, forward, or backward, and then you have to watch what happened. So that is why we cannot just type the word, say, okay, I want to see the car explode scene. Then let bring me to that part of the video. We cannot do that. Am I right? You realize that you have to go it manually. That is simply because the data is unstructured. In other words, the computer doesn't understand what is going on. Yeah. Now, with large language model, this problem can be solved. I can tell you very soon, you can actually search for clips, okay, clips in the videos, and it will just identify very, very accurately for you any clips you want. Yeah, things become from unstructured to structured thanks to this large language model. And in fact, we have lots of documents that are actually unstructured as well. Many people thought that these documents are structured. Actually, it is not. Actually, it's not. If you look at this document, all right, because we are human being, we have the ability to tell, but not for the computers. I mean, the computers they have got no idea. They're looking at it. They don't see it as characters. They see it as beats, right? So let me give you an example of this. Okay, you see this letter, am I right? So who is the sender? You know it straight away that the Roy is the sender. Well, Rory is the sender, Jonas, okay? Why? Because here is sincerely bottom here, right? He signed off. So this must be he's the sender. Who is the recipient? You look at it, or Melissa Miller. So you know, then the address is sent from where to where. Now you realize that this, what you are processing now, because we are human, we are capable of the semantic. We know that, okay, so this is the postcode, though you want to know from this postcode to this postcode. And of course, not to mention that the purpose of the letter. And all this, right, you realize that we have, in the real world, we have many of this unstructured information that lying, in our archive, in a lot of companies, lots of all this information there. And seriously, it's very difficult to make use of them prior to the large language model age. And today, we don't have this problem anymore. Okay, and certainly we can solve this problem. But having said so, yes, we can solve them, but not like immediately. We need many software engineers to actually develop software to manage them. We need a lot of information system engineers to manage them. Yeah, you have to understand the amount of all this data in any of the, even at home. I'm sure if you look at your parents, the letters that they receive every day, the hard copy, yeah, you find that it's actually abundant. Yeah, but there are many of them, and probably some of them is not even open. Then certainly, it's like if we were to look for some information, it is very painful. It is not there. And that's in fact, emails also the same. Yeah, emails also the same. Sometimes we were asking, you send me already? Yeah. When do you send me? I need to find back the email, right? So it's just lots of this information. And in fact, sometimes search itself, we call it the grandmother search that we have now, it doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work as well. So the large language model is coming in, and it's really helpful in this kind of problems. Yeah, and you realize that these are a very huge search space. In other words, let's say for example, you are searching for a letter, okay, sent about let's say for example about certain thing, car repair, for example, an email thread, is somewhere inside your email. When you type car repair and you try to search, you probably cannot find anything, because probably that time when you wrote the email, you are reading the words vehicle, automobile, or you're actually saying that you didn't even use the word car. So in other words, those I would say that the conventional search that based on keywords is literally useless. Cannot find. The semantic is not there. The what we call that, the ontology, yeah, it's not correct. We don't have that. So therefore, it's very difficult to find the relevant information if you are not providing the right keyword. And and we have overwhelming of information that we sometimes even forgot the very important keywords. So therefore, with large language model, all this can be solved. Yeah, all this can be solved, and it's really, really interesting where you can solve this. Now, the one that I'm going to share with you is actually way more than this already. Now, the large language model that we have today is really, really advanced, where I want to share with you. Now, before we move on to the demo sites, yeah, you can look at this one. Is the first one, let's check it out. So this one is a structured or not structured, the first question. I cannot hear you, but I was supposed you say structured, right? It's very obvious. Yeah. This is structured. This one plus this one, you can see the answer there. It's like, oh, I know what to do. And if you, in fact, if you throw it into the calculator will just tell you the answer. But the bottom one, yeah, you will realize that I need to think. I need to interpret the meaning, right? Then only I can sum the thing together. Therefore, you have to deal with not only is unstructured, but semantically as well. Yeah. So that is where you can see the challenges that the AI are solving for us at this for now, which is really, really helpful. Okay. Look at this one. Let's see what we can handle this one. I want to show you this one. When we talk about ChatGPT, right, I need you to get here. I mean, what is more fun than trying it out ourselves? Now, I have a version here. I think the good thing was that you can actually use the mini version for free. Yeah, it's actually open for all already, if I'm not mistaken. So you can just go and go to this website. Let me find you the one. Yeah, start now. Let me put it here. Let me put it the link at the bottom here. I'm sure many of you knows how to use it already. Yeah. So I think you don't have to log in. You will get a mini version which you can actually try it out. I think if you sign up, you probably have a little bit more you can ask more questions. Yeah, in other words. You can ask more questions, you can do it. Let me hide this panel. Hey. Yes, good. And I want to hide that panel because otherwise it's actually a bit interrupting. You still can see my screen. That's good. You can see my mouse as well. Perfect. Now, over here, let's say we want to look at this one. Okay, this one. So what is the meaning of this one? You realize that, okay, it's a speedometer, right? So I just want to show you that the ChatGPT now can not only take text, but also images as well. So let me see how I send in these images. This is what I want. So this is the snipping tool I like to use. Actually, you can just screenshot my the screen that I have here. Basically, you just, you can just screenshot it. Yep. Let me do a new one. I just want to show it to you that what we can do is this one, save. You realize what is wrong with this guy? Do you realize or not? Can anyone tell me what's wrong with this image? You see this one? This is 80 what? 80 miles per hour or 80 kilometer per hour, right? Yeah. Actually, this is really interesting. Okay, let me color off this one. Okay, let me hidden out this one. I will just save this. I'll put it onto my desktop. I call it image01. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw it to my ChatGPT and ask, what is this? So I'll just put it here. Our phone computers. Also desktop. Yeah, this is the image I want to put in. So let it load. Yeah, it's done. So it says, okay, what is the speed? You realize that this guy is really, really good. Yeah, so you can show you approximately, yeah. Now, let me try to show you something. Let's try. Let me erase this. Can I? Okay. Let's cut. Let's do this one. Let's save it. Image 2. You can try this again. This time I'm using image 2. See that? This guy's not behaving what I want. So, but you can see it actually changed to kilometer per hour, but yeah, 80. This is typical thing that the prompt, okay? Now, of course, when you look at this, you realize that when I ask this question, it's very, very simple. And of course, sometimes you realize that, yeah, you can see, hey, this is actually 75, but this one is 80, it's like an elephant in the room, right? In this case, like, why is 125? You don't do the conversion for me, am I right? It's written here kilometer per hour, and I want it kilometer per hour. So what do we need to do in order to get the answer that we want? Actually, if you come to think of it, it's not about the correct or wrong, but rather you have to put in more information that you into it. Yeah. So what is the speed shown in the speedometer? Maybe no, follow the arrow. Yeah, this is the one I want. See that? Now the answer. So you can put in a more, you can ask more questions. You realize that the one I start to ask a little bit longer, then it will start to move on to the answer closer that we want. So you can try this. Okay, you can try this. And I'm sure that different people will have different kind of a little bit slightly variant of answer, but which is very, very normal. I'll show you how to control it later. Yeah. But for now, here, this is what we are doing. So you can actually ask questions. And I want to show you this one is really, really interesting. The next one is this guy. So if you see this guy, all right, it has no indicator of whether this is kilometer per hour or miles per hour. Am I right? So can anyone tell me what unit that we should use for this? Kilometer per hour or miles? Any idea? What do you think? Let me delete this up. Okay, let me try this. Let me show you the more powerful of this. Okay, so it's a different speedometer. And I just want to ask, like, is the speed shown? So I hope that you, at this point, you should able to see that this is really, really good tool. And of course, we can do things like this. Why? You see, it gives you kilometer per hour. Why kilometer per hour and not miles per hour? Check it out. You see, it says that usually if you run it has a maximum of 240, usually it is a kilometer. So for cars that are running on miles per hour, usually have a lower, higher range. So you can see that it has the semantic behind dealing with unstructured data. This is how good the ChatGPT has become, or is it the large language model has become over the last few years, a very, very short time span. It actually went, improved. So in other words, if you look at this one, 140, right, very likely that this one is actually miles per hour. Yeah. So this is something that you can try. And of course, now you realize that the prompt, the one that we type here, we call it the prompt, depending on how you ask the questions, so that it can, you know, make it to answer the questions in a way that we wanted. Yeah, in a way that we wanted. So these are a very good example. And yep, once it can handle images, it is very, very powerful now. Yeah. Okay, so what can ChatGPT do for us? Yeah, uh, I'm sure many of you have done the text part. Yeah, text part, basically you can, you know, things like generate text, uh, text completion. Sometimes, you know, um, you can do these things that really, really fantastic. Um, yep. For example, you want to write a letter to someone, you know, to make a complaint, exchange some things that you, for example, maybe you want to make a complaint, or you want to return something, you know, you want a letter, you can use this. Now, but having said so, right, having said so, based on my experience, sometimes I find it, many people do not really know how to use it well. So like, for example, let's say you open a new chat. Why I open a new chat? Simply because if you continue to type here, it will actually use back the previous context and start to answer question accordingly. So sometimes I want it to start anew. Yeah, I don't want any context. I want to start here. So it's good to always start a new one. Yeah, as I know I have bought uh, a pair of shoes over the internet, and it is not right, and I want to change it. Can you help me draft a letter? Okay, so this is the beauty of it. So generation of text is very, very good. Now, of course, if you use it enough, like say, for example, generate stories, you start to realize that, yeah, you actually hit some boundaries. Yeah, that sometimes the stories keep repeating. Now, having said so, all right, this kind of letters, when you read, sometimes uh, I find my students, when sometimes they write to me, they like to just copy and paste this, which of I find that it's not very professional. And in other words, because I know it's actually generated from uh, AI. So try not to make the same mistakes. You have to understand that when we write, all right, we have styles, and these styles are actually it's just like we it's just like you ask your friend to talk to you, all right. If different friends, you know that all of them have different style, and from the style, sometimes you can tell whether it's the person or not. So when you use AI to generate text, you have to make sure that you don't want to lose the style. Yeah, or once the style is, I mean, we can tell. Yeah, we are human. So therefore, be very careful when you're using it to generate text. That's what I want to say. Yeah. Okay, of course, you can have text completions. You have type. Sometimes, you know, you want to fill in some blanks, you can do that. It's very good at summarizing thing. What I love the most is translate between languages. Uh, I know somebody say, I have Google Translator. Yes, that works very well, but I will say that not as well as this one, especially when your texts are very, very long. And this one you can do translation and ask ChatGPT to actually, you know, make it shorter, summarize it. You have more options to do that. And one of the things that I love a lot, that I use a lot, is actually sentiment analysis. Sometimes you want to tell, you know, whether that the statement written is sounds good, bad, right? We can tell that. And we actually can do data analysis. Of course, coding part, if you are code lovers, like to do coding, you will find that it is very, very convenient to use ChatGPT to generate code. But again, it falls back to our very, very early statement that I said, you need to have the ability to judge whether it is correct or wrong. It's the same for all this. If they cannot judge, yeah, then probably it's not right to use that. Okay. use it. What I mean using it is like, you don't take this and then you claim, oh, this is what I've written. That's what I mean by use it. Of course, you say that I generated something and I read it, but not very understand. But I will use it as a guidance for me to further study or find for more information, to read about it more. Now that is okay. In other words, that kind of use is different. When I say use here, is that you, in other words, you're claiming that this is what I've written. Yeah, so be very careful with that one. Now, of course, if you use it in the right way, it is actually very powerful. Yeah, it's actually very powerful. Basically, you have a personal assistant that are ready for you 24/7, and can get a lot of things done. I'll show you in a short while, yeah, along the way. Now, what makes me feel even more excited is actually that ChatGPT now can see, listen, speak, and generate images. So this one, in order to do this, all right, of course, I can show you generate images using this, which is very straightforward. Yeah, you can, for example, you write a software and then you need an icon. Yeah, I always do this. Generate me an icon for my translator app. So it actually backend is actually running on DALL-E. So it will generate you an image. Yeah, so you have this app. You can download it and then you can start using it. Now, for this image generation, all right, again, because due to time constraint here, I type a very, very short one. So, but in other words, if you want to use it really well, you should give more descriptions. Yeah, more descriptions, more detail, so that you get a better outcome. So in other words, be clear, be specific. Yeah, more detail. Then you get to write a better prompt. Yeah, you get to have a better outcome. So how about listen and speak? And I show you generate image. Yeah. See, I think I show it to you. Basically, we just attach the document inside. But of course, very soon they will have the one they can see straight from your video. But yes, how about speech? We call it speech. And able to, from text to speech, speech to text. Now for this, all right, you have to download app into your Android. Android Play Store. This is really, really interesting. Now, of course, if you're using Apple, you can do that. I'll give you the link here as well. Yeah. So you can actually download this one into your Android device. And this one, it has, you can see at the bottom here, it has a chat in voice mode. Now this month is going to be really, really interesting because I'm still waiting for the GPT 4.0 chat with we call it voice mode. This one is really, really good. They promised to release this month, but unfortunately, I think last 2 days I have been bugging them, asking them. It might delay until August. So let me find you the video and you watch it when you are free, so that you have a better idea. The link. Let me see. ChatGPT 4.0. There you go. Let me find you that. Yep. This one, let me copy link address. And then I'll just paste it here. Now, of course, not watching now, huh? You'll watch it later after the class. Okay, I just put it here. Oops. Why I direct message everyone? Let me send everyone in the meeting. Oops, I just realized that I sent to one here. Yeah, I put in the link. You can try that out. That's really, really impressive later when you have time. Yes, I find it really, really cool. Of course, when you put that into your application, it's going to be very powerful. Now, next thing, what is the limitation? Now, the limitation of ChatGPT, all right, we have to understand that it is the large language model. Like, if you have went through the talk by Dr. Teo this morning, you realize that it's actually based on approximation. Okay, you try to find the most likelihood of answer. So again, it can be biased. It can be biased depending on what the data that is being used to train. Yeah. So therefore, we have to understand that it has limitation. Now, this one, I think many of you, maybe if you have tried this earlier, like maybe 1 or 2 years ago, the answer is not correct. But now it's actually very, very powerful. Now you actually solved the problem already. So this one is like saying that I have a shirt that needs 35 minutes to dry under the sun, and how long do I need for 5 shirts, right? So in this case, last time, the earlier version, will multiply it, and I can tell you the most recent version, they can already solve it. So in other words, sometimes doing this talk, right, is also a bit challenging. It is not always some of the problem that I find is not always there. It will only happen before the patch it, after the retraining a new model, right? Some of the old problem is no longer there. But having said so, it is good to try it out. And from time to time, at least you know what are the limitations. And again, back to the very, very fundamental, like whether or not to use them, you have to have the ability to tell whether that this answer is correct or wrong. Now, one of the most thing that people when I put in the image, you realize that it's very powerful. We can understand the image, but it still have limitation. Okay, it's not that it's not yet a super AI thing. So if you look at it, it has a limitation in this spatial reasoning. What do we mean by that? Now, see this. Quite a number of faces here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's try this one. Let's try this one. Let's try to ask ChatGPT, to look into this picture and see what we can get out of it. All right, let's try this. All right, now let me take this picture. So I like to do this. Yep, I just scan this. I'll save it as image 4. Now I love to play with image because to me this is really cool. So then let me open a new one again. Let me hide this footing panel. Let me attach this document. This image. Actually, you can drag and drop. Yeah, but I just put it here. Okay, now you can ask questions like, tell me how many people there is, okay, you can do something like that. You see that? Earlier version wasn't really accurate, but now it's actually actually improved for faces. Yeah, so you can see 10 faces. That is correct. Now, what is the limitation? This one. And you circle all the faces in the photo formula. So I'm asking ChatGPT to circle all the faces. So I want to know. So the ChatGPT will process that. And let's see. Okay, so I can download the image here. Yeah, you realize that it give me codes here. Okay, so let's install this. Let's get this code up and running, and then we'll get the image. Okay, let me copy the code. All right, let's get some hands on here. Let's see how we can start my project here. Let me run a command prompt here. So I'm going to start a Python project here, so that Let me enlarge it so that you can see it clearly. So let me change to my desktop. Let me create a directory. I like to call it test because after this class, I will probably delete it. Then I'll just create an environment for my task. Because I want to run the image just now and see where it actually circles. So since you give me the Python code, I'll show you how to run it. Just one moment. This guy's a bit slow here. Now, this Python code, all right, I think only recently, sometime it will run for you. Yeah, maybe due to their server, they don't do that anymore. But yeah, let me activate it. Okay. I need to install a library. Pillow or pillows? I forgot whether there's an answer. Oops. Probably don't have. Okay, perfect. Let me install it. Done. Let me open up my code. Let me start coding here. Okay. Let me add one file. Circle.py. I'll just put in the code that given to me earlier. Let me see if I can enlarge this for you. Okay, perfect. Let me see the code from here. I can copy the code. Then let's put it here. Now, this is the image that we need that we put in, and this is the image where the outcome. So I'm not using the Linux path, so I just put it the path here. So let me save it, and let me run it over here because my image is at the desktop, image 4. I want to put it inside this test. Yeah. So I'm going to run this guy. Let me see if the file name is correct. Image 4, yep. So let me turn on my terminal. Where's my terminal? A new terminal at the bottom. And I want to command prompt terminal. Okay, so let me try Python circle. So there you go. So we run it. Okay, done. So the image is out. Let's check out the answer. This is the circle. See that? Can you see the limitation of ChatGPT for now? But I hope you can see it. Yeah. So which means that yes, it seems like it is working, but the code given, no, it's not yet. Yeah, not yet. So I can just show you here. Now, if you have the Python code, if you want the Python code, I will just pass it to you. Now, how I'm going to pass it to you? I'm going to pass it to you through this. I'm going to pass the code here. So I hope I'll put it in the chat box there. So you go to chat box, there's a link, and you can click on that. And yeah, you can copy and paste the code and you can try out. So I'm going to share you code from time to time through this one. Okay. So later on, along the way, when we play, we can do this, but try not to delete. Try not to delete the code over here. You only copy. So you only do the read. The rest of it I will handle. Okay. So that's how that's the limitation. And is this the only limitation? No, I don't think so. But I think one thing we have to understand that the AI model is still they are still improving. What we see limitation today might not be a limitation tomorrow, and you need to really do a lot of testing. Yeah, a lot of testing. Sometimes we just do not know when. Yeah, it might be wrong. And I think one of the thing that is very, very important for us is to do fact checking. So of course, AI, is a language model. It will try its best to generate a lot of text, languages for us. So let's say when you ask ChatGPT to generate some text, all right, You can keep on saying, oh, this is long enough, I need longer, write more things inside. And then after you prompt a few times, they will try, ChatGPT will start to, because out of content, they'll try to generate some even things that are not accurate. We will put it inside there as well. So it is very important when we are asking ChatGPT to generate things related to facts. We really have to, I would say, that double, triple check the accuracy of those facts. Yeah. Of course, it has improved a lot. Seriously, since the first version until the one that we have now, the ChatGPT 4.0, the O stand for Omni, is Omni model. Yeah, it's actually very, very powerful, getting very powerful. But because precisely of that, people start to have, sometimes over confident or over, didn't thought that, how come the AI can generate me something wrong? Yeah, so it might happen, and it will still happen. Therefore, as a responsible user, we should not just generate it and take it straight away and submit or treat it as our own work. So we always have to verify, check before we really using it. Yeah. So having said so, once you understand that, you realize that prompt engineering is an art. So in other words, it really depends on how good that you're asking your questions. If you ask a really good questions, now the output will also be improved. Yeah, more accurate, more suitable for you. Yeah, more relevant. So therefore, when we talk about prompt engineering, basically it's a way of how you actually ask questions. And there, if you ask me, there is not really a very rigid or specific operation procedure of like how you want to do this. I understand there are many books written on this, but from my personal experience of using it for so long, all I can say that you just have to write clear instruction, clear English. It should able to get the job done 90% or I would say 99% of the time. So always try to be clear, okay, and precise as much as possible. It's actually the same for generating image. You can say, okay, generate me an image of a house. Then you imagine that you are someone, you are an artist, yeah, and someone just give you this instruction. Let me hide this one. I hit this one. Okay, like for example, draw me a house. I mean, imagine if you're the artist, right? You realize that it's not to say that it's impossible, but what do you want, right? What do you want me to draw? So you probably want to put in more information. A house in the middle of the field, with a barn door, 2 windows. Now, having said so, right, the numbers might not actually work accurately. Yeah. You probably want to yellow house, red roof. Describe more. Background. What is the background? Mountains. Background with mountains. What else? Sunrise and birds. Yeah, you need to give more information. Yeah. So sorry, someone speaking? Yeah. So you have to give more information. Yeah, can you see that? So otherwise, it will be very difficult. Not to say for AI to do it, but even for human being. Am I right? So therefore, all you need to do is, yes, provide precise and clear, yeah, better descriptions. Yeah. Of course, you can say photorealistic. Of course, the DALL-E photorealistic still kind of a bit limited, but I'm sure they will fix it over the years, or in the future it's going to be better and better. Okay, so that's the first one. Second thing, you can if you really need, you have to provide references. So when we ask for something, and then you might want to give an example, like if this is the input, that is the output I want. So you should provide a reference. If the first one doesn't work for you, and you need something more specific, then try this. And if your problem is really, really complicated, really complicated, you try to break it down to smaller parts, and then you ask follow-up questions. When asked follow-up questions are basically, it's like you giving time for ChatGPT to think. You're asking ChatGPT to analyze back. I think one of the things that I like to ask is if anything is missing. And then sometimes I like to ask the question, are you sure? So when you ask, are you sure? Usually ChatGPT will compute again and confirm the answer for you. So it's really, really interesting. So these are the three things, okay? In very high level kind of way that I solve it. I won't say that this is exhaustive or the only way of doing it, but this is through my experience. You can actually refer to OpenAI. They have this prompt guide, but I think the guide is very long and lengthy, but if you summarize it, I think you come to my same conclusion, these three things. Yeah. Of course, they have more tiny things, which I don't think that is yeah. If you reach to that point, probably better off you rephrase your questions, or maybe probably you're hitting the limit of the large language model already. All right. Now talking about that, there are also a few approaches. One is zero shot, few shot, and finally fine-tuning. I know many of us always look about fine-tuning, especially if you are AI lovers, large language model. Wow, this word sounds like so fun. In fact, fine-tuning is that you really have lots of data, and then you try to train or fine-tune. We cannot use the word train because the large model is already trained. Fine-tune it so that it is more it generates outcome that are more towards of what you wanted. That's the idea of fine-tuning. Now let's I think zero shot and the few shot is the one that's common. Let's try it. I suppose you have your ChatGPT with you now. Let me try this. Okay, I have a question for you to try this one. Now, I'm not going to copy and paste for you. But you can you still can solve this problem. Okay, let me show it to you how to do it. Now, this is how good that the image is actually getting. Let me show it to you. So let's say I have this problem. I'm sure that some of you mathematics level, you say that okay, this you can calculate this. Of course, you can calculate it. After you calculate already, then the question is whether or not the answer is correct. Sometimes I know you are doing some partial questions that has got no answer. And I think ChatGPT is really a good tool to help you with that. Now this one, let me show you. I know I have text, I can copy and paste, but you don't have, right? But you're looking at your Zoom screen now. I said, hey, I cannot highlight this thing. Don't worry. Let's do the same. I'll just do the same thing like what you're doing. I'll just screenshot it. Yeah. So snipping tool is my favorite. I always open it and screenshot it, and then you save it. Okay, I've called it image 5 now. So let's see. Let's get ChatGPT to solve this problem. We're just going to ask ChatGPT to solve this problem by, okay. You realize that I just uploading an image with text inside. And how heads and legs of the animal. So you will start. See that? Look at the image that pass in, and ta-da! Then you have your answer. Cool, right? You realize that. Suddenly you realize that, hey, we don't have to type anymore. Yeah, we don't have to type. Yeah. So the ability of processing the image is very, very good. And this image is actually available on the two model only. One is a 4.0 and one is 4. And I think they'll actually turn off the 3 as well. So we get to use these two. The mini version is good. 4.0 mini, but the was of now they cannot handle image. Yeah. It's just a matter of time, if you ask me. But text one is actually faster. Sometimes you want, again, you see, it's like an AI problem I mentioned to you, right? You want accuracy or you want speed. So in this case, it's a very good example that you can see that the mini version is actually trade-off accuracy and speed. Sometimes if you want it fast, suboptimal answer, you doesn't have to be as good as the full model. Yeah, this guy could be a better choice. And in fact, yes, a lot of time, a mini version can do the work really, really well within a faster time. Yeah. So that's the thing I mentioned earlier. Okay, so that's the answer. I'm not sure if it's correct or wrong, so feel free to go back and calculate again to check. Now, again, yes, though we are talking about here is zero shot because why? Because I never give any example on how to count, right? So I just ask the ChatGPT to do it, and ChatGPT will just do it for me. Now, of course, if you are a student, okay, or someone who have to like use this, I will say that don't trust it. Although based on my experience, I would say that 95% of the time you get the correct answer. But uh let's not take the chance. Yeah. Especially if you're submitting this as your homework assignments. I would strongly suggest you to go back and count again. Okay, learn from this how they count. And you have to see whether it's reasonable or not. Yeah. And then from there, you check the answer. Okay, so always remember to do this. I always remember to do that. Don't just put it in and just assume that the answer is going to be correct. Now let me give you another one. This is actually more fun. Try solve this one. Can you try solve yourself? Screenshot it and put it in. And you can see that this one, you realize it's a semantic. This one, the head and legs one, maybe you say, this straightforward. This one has a more semantic kind of issue here. Basically saying that I have a shirt, take 32 minutes to dry. Now I have 32 shirts and 20 pants. I only have 13 hangers, and each hangers can hold a shirt and a pants. So due to the length of the string, the one that we hang our shirts, I can hang 2 more shirts without hangers. So how long will I need to dry all the shirts and pants? Perfect. So you can use this again. If you don't have the text, you can always screenshot it. If you want the text, okay, I'll paste it here for you. I paste it at the checkbox for you. Okay, I know some of you, if you don't have the one that can manage images, you can just put this under the mini version. Okay, let me try. So if you want the mini version, you can just click here or this guy, create a new one, change it to mini, and here's the text. And here I press enter, you realize it actually come up the answer very fast. There you go. So the answer is 96 minutes. Yep. So it's like, my assignments, my maths is so fast, so easy. So again, yes, it's very powerful, but double, triple check the answer. Yeah. All right. So let me show you one more. Okay, how about this one? Now, ChatGPT can do things like this. Get ChatGPT to work out the budget, travel plan, pre-travel plan, to-do list. Now, imagine one day your boss asks you to do something like that. Okay, so I'll put it here for you to try this one as well. Solve this problem. Okay, basically you want to work out the budget, travel plan, pre-travel, and you say that, okay, I'm too lazy to do it. So let's get ChatGPT to do it. Okay, let's say that I'm really I'm a big kiasu, I want the best model for me to do it. And I'm going to paste my model, the thing here. Yep, then you fire off this. You say that, okay, let's wait for let's create a plan for me. You see, 7 days, everything done, powerful, right? Then you say that, okay, put them in a table format for me. And okay, let's put it in the table format. Oh, I think this is like, wow, this is professionals, right? Looks good. Then you submit. Now you see two things here. You work out this one, then you say that, okay, now I just submit this one. But you realize that you still need people to go through this one. Yeah, if you look at this one, it looks like fine, but you really need to check, like, for example, there are things that are missing. For example, you have to apply for your visa. Where's the visa budget? Can you see that? So in other words, right, you have to understand that, yes, it helps, but there are things that might not, isn't there, isn't there, you have to through experience. This guy is not 100% correct as well. Yeah, so yeah, it gives you some range. It looks promising, but you have to be really, really careful. And this is a good example. But why I purposely choose Australia, because yeah, I know this guy is just going to forget the visa, right? I mean, and if you submit this, probably you will be in deep trouble as well. Yeah, so I cannot help just to remind all of us who are using, don't think that we don't have to study anymore. We can just rely on AI. Always remember that AI is just a tool. We still need human intelligence, yeah, to deal with a lot of other things. All right. So I want to move on to, of course, you can always do multi-shots. Just now when I mentioned few shot, single shot, which is just a prompt. The few shot one, they say that you can always ask for, say, can you please also include the cost of visa application? I am traveling. Is here. Okay. Yep, you can see that this visa here. Can you see that? Now, having said so, all right, checking out the visa application and the budget. Again, we do not know if this is accurate. Am I right? You still need to do verification. But of course, after you verify, you can always come back. What is the price of a tourist visa from Malaysia to Australia? Actually, you don't have to type this. It has context. It will tell you. You don't. Yeah, you can look at that. Look at that. Just now was 105, now 190. See that? So this is what we call few shot. I mean, yeah, you can follow up the question. I mean, not a very accurate few shot. But you get the idea. Okay. So basically, you follow up some questions, and then yeah, you bound reach to a better answer. Again, I think I just mentioned to you, you can say, mm, did I miss anything else? Yeah, you come all there's a lot of things. So this one probably a better one, a better list for you to check. Now is this the final version if you come to think of it? What do you think? Actually, might not be, if you look carefully. A yes, Venom. Uh, how about what? Um, clothing? Maybe maybe you are going there winter, maybe, right? Give you all this, Anyway, so I hope you get the idea that what I'm trying to say. You can, I mean, if you are spending time chatting with ChatGPT on this, you get the idea. So never take the first answer, just don't take the answer straight away. You can keep on asking. And one of the things that is that you can ask for more details. But again, it doesn't have common sense like a human being. Yeah. So like for example, like you can look at the answer just now. It does not actually covers clothing as well, right? We are from Malaysia. If you go there, somehow it's during winter, you probably have to factor in that as well, right? All these things again, AI can only help you this much. We really need to have our common sense or knowledges to actually handle the rest of it. Now, of course, when we come to fine tuning, basically is that if really cannot solve your problem and you have no choice but to modify the fine tune the model, then yeah, we probably need to go fine tuning. And I won't be able to finish this sharing if I go into this. So therefore, I will skip this part, the detail of it. But having said so, I would say that the model now is getting really good. And through prompt engineering itself, you probably don't need to do fine tuning. Yeah. So you can actually do this. There's actually another thing that we have to put in. Now, I didn't tell you the whole story yet because now you realize that we are still dealing with a generic model, yeah, a very generic model. How about some content that I want to put in, yeah, and then I want ChatGPT to answer based on that content, yeah. So that is what we're going to do next. And usually in the old days when we don't have the custom ChatGPT GPT or the MyGPT, we have to fine tune it, but now we really don't have to do that anymore. So we can do this. Now, I just want to show you a few things that you can customize your ChatGPT. Over here, over the ChatGPT, of course, this one have to be the paid version, yeah. If you click on your name, but for your information, the UI always changes. Now, last time it was on the left bottom, now it's on the right top. Seems like the engineer cannot make up their mind where to put the thing. Yep, now it's right here. Custom ChatGPT. You click this. Then, yes. So you see, I enable some custom instruction, which is I actually pay in a way that I provide extra information to ChatGPT about myself and about how I liked ChatGPT to respond. You realize that the way the ChatGPT reply to me is very different from ChatGPT replying to you because I like to keep it concise and I love it to be in point form all the time. So you see that the answer I have is always in point form one. Yeah. The one that you have maybe in the essay form. Yeah. So I like to do that. And I'll ask ChatGPT to customize over here, this part. Yeah. Also, you can give ChatGPT a little information about your background, so that it will answer you according to your background knowledge. Yeah, so that it doesn't have to explain things that sometimes you already know, or some common things that we know. So just like, for example, reading books. Yeah, if you read books from a completely different domain, probably you need to have very fundamental explanation on every single terminology. But if you are reading books of your own area, you probably don't need all the definition, explanation. So you want it to be short and precise. So therefore, it's good that you let ChatGPT knows your background as well. So you get to have a more specific answer. So that can be done through your custom ChatGPT here. And then one thing that I mentioned about that, let's say content. I said I have a content base I want to answer. For example, let me find you an example. I have an example. Yeah, this one. I will move on to my ChatGPT. Okay, let me show you this one. What do we mean by that? My ChatGPT is basically based on this one. It's what we call retrieval augmented generation. Sometimes you have documents that are very specific. For instance, okay, you write a book, and this book is actually not trained, by the large language model or ChatGPT. But then you want to use the large language model with ChatGPT to actually, answer questions based on the book that you have written. Now that is you require ChatGPT to have the context of your book, right? So we call it retrieval augmented generation. Now in the old days, it's a bit more work to do. I mean, I said old, not very old, last year probably. And once we have this my GPTs, where you can custom it, you really can provide some instructions and extra knowledge built in already. So in other words, things will become very easy. All right, straightforward. Let me show you this one. Okay, let me show you this one. You go to here. Oh yeah, I need to have some custom knowledge. And I was actually, if you ask me, I was like struggling finding what kind of custom knowledge, that ChatGPT didn't train on it. And then I started to realize, yeah, I actually got this. This is really fun. Give me a moment. I downloaded this. Let me open up this one. Let me check. One moment. Let me find. I know you cannot see my screen because yes, I'm on my another computer already. Just give me a moment. I'll bring the file over here for you to see. Yeah, I know you're looking at my code now. One moment. Yep, I'm here. I'm back. So I'm going to paste this here. Yeah. Okay. See this? No, it's just loading. Yeah, what this document about? Oh, it's written in what language? I'm sure many of us been to Langkawi, right? Then you know that there's the Langkawi have this stories, and yeah, this kind of a research paper that written about the legend of the princess who actually cursed the island. Yeah. And this is actually written in Malay. And let's say we want ChatGPT to work and based on this context, which means this work. So how do we do it? I'm going to show it to you. Of course, one way that you can is that you can always do this. Open a new chat, attach a document, throw it inside, and that's it. But imagine if you were to ask a few questions, maybe the day after that, the day after that, you realize that you have to repeat this process again and again. So in this case, I don't want to do that. So what I do is I go to my GPT. I can create a custom version of it. See that? Create a custom, create a GPT. Then you can write configure. Okay. So, okay. I first call it a paper reader. Okay. Maybe a history paper reader. For example, yeah, I'm going to just do a quick one. So give some experience on Kawi history. This one you can put in, study the paper and answer questions accordingly. For information not in the paper, this is the one. Say, I don't know. So in other words, you want to control it. Hello, I just put hello. Upload files. That this is the part that I want to do. You realize that what I want to do here is that if for information not in the paper, basically, or it's not in the file, yeah, I want it to say I don't know, so it won't generate. Otherwise, right, it will also generate what you want, So you don't want that to happen. Let me hide this. Then if you're done, you can this is you can try here already. Okay, you can try right here, and then of course at the end of the day you can create it and it will be a GPT for you. Okay, so let me try. What is the paper about? Yep, can you see that? So you answer based on the paper, the context that we put in. Who is who three nursery? See that? You can see the response, right? This is the assistant that we have here. Now what you need to do next is that we can just create it, and yeah, so every time you can come back and click on this, and then you can operate with what's inside the content, yeah, of the paper. Yeah, I can see. Yep. When did the story happen? 19th century. Yeah, I see the year, right? Is the first over. Yep, yeah, I think you get the idea. Okay. So you can actually yeah, really good. I mean, it's actually if you're a teacher, then it's more fun. You can do something like that. Generate me 3 multiple choice MCQ questions. I mean, this is one of the fun part for teacher. I mean, I'm sure if you are an educator, this actually helps a lot. Yeah. But I mean, having said so, same thing. You probably need to check the answer again. Don't trust the answer. Yeah, this is no answer. Please provide me the answer. Yeah, you have your answers here as well. Yeah, so I hope this is going to be helpful for you. So again, in a way, we are actually doing prompt engineering. Yeah, so you can you realize that the way you ask questions, then you actually get the answers that you want. All right. So of course you can create this one, which I don't want to create. Yeah. I mean, I don't need it. But if you want, you go back, you can try this. So again, you can put in all the books, not only one book. So you can put lots of books. Always remember this one. One line that I think is very important: do not answer anything outside the content. Okay. So like for example, let me see. Let me try this. Where is Sabah? Now this one should not answer this question. Why is he answering? Yeah, probably I need to modify this one a little bit more. It's not written in the paper, so it should not answer this question. All right. Yes, you can do that. You just need to modify this one a bit. Let me try to do this. Oh. Any questions that are not related to the content in the file? Say, I don't know. Let me try this. Okay. So once you do this, you should update on its own. And then let me ask again. Where is Sabah? So it should not answering me. Yeah, this is the one I want. Sabah is not mentioned in the provided document. So you have to add this line. Okay. What is a laptop? You know, in Langkawi doing? What is a laptop in Langkawi, for example? Some nonsense questions. Yes. So you want to prove this. Okay, this is how we do it. All right. So I hope this gives you a pretty much more powerful of how to use ChatGPT over here. Now maybe just for a few more example that I have been using it. If you can see, I have a personal English checker, which this one is one of the I use very, very frequent. Now this one, all right, the prompt that I put is again, do not change my style. So I think if you want to check your English, but do not, I put it very specifically, do not change my style or my words. It's only for managing the English, make sure that it is correct, nothing more. Yeah. So I think if you want, I think this one is open for public. If you want, you can try. This is, so I put it up the link there. You can try out the one that I put in. So I put it under community. So it's a very good, it become a very good English builder. I mean checker. And if you ask me, I think it's more fantastic than a lot of existing tools out there. Yep. So that is the first part where you start to know the features of ChatGPT, and then you can explore more. Next, I'm going to the API part. Now, the API part, if you're not doing programming, probably it will be very, very boring for you. So again, I hope that you get the things that I needed earlier, Python and also VS Code to set up, install in your computer. Otherwise, this part is going to be super boring. Yeah, super boring. So what I need you to do is, once you do that, okay, what is API? Some people say API, right? API actually stands for Application Programming Interface. Basically, it's that when people develop software nowadays, they will also start to allow people to integrate other software application with their software. So how do they do that? Through what we call API. In other words, you can call the ChatGPT functions, and ChatGPT will process the text just like what we have done earlier, and will send the result back to your application. So in other words, we don't have to log in through the page, but rather we write our program, which we're going to do today, get the response and display it back, or get the response and do something about it. Yeah. So you can interoperate with your software. So that's the whole idea. And if you're not familiar with what is REST or HTTP, don't worry about that. Yeah, I'll give you a very, very simple introduction here. That you get your program running. Okay, I promise you. Now, the first thing I need you to do is check out the API page. Now, the API page is very different from the page that we have. This is the one that we actually log in and ask questions for end user. Another one is actually this one. Let me give you the link. The link is somewhere like that. OpenAI/API. Yeah. This one, the bottom one. This guy. I'll send you the link. Now, for those who don't have account, probably you want to open one. Okay, at the bottom, you see something like that. Now, again, it's just very, very different. Okay, if you see carefully, this is how end user use. The other one is something like this. Okay, something like this. Of course, we can use the model just like, we can ask questions inside. Okay, here and then test different model. Okay, how does it work? It will give you an interface, how to communicate with them, but of course, the charges is different. Now, for ChatGPT, right, you have to pay the subscription, the monthly one, so that you have full access to the GPT 4.0 or the 4.0 model, and you have unlimited. You can just keep on asking questions. But when we do for APIs, all right, when we want to integrate ChatGPT functionality into our software, they don't charge that. They don't charge by a lump sum, but rather it's number one prepaid, and it based on our usage. It based on how frequent we call. Okay, for every function call, depending on which module that you or which model that you use, it will charge you accordingly. Now, in this case, all right, I already set the key for you, and you can try to use it. And yes, which I will turn it off after this training. So I will also tell you how to generate the key. So you can do this after the training yourself. All right. So once you log into this API, okay, go to personal, set a project, and then at the bottom here is API key. Okay. Yeah, the key is actually hidden. Under usage here, increase limit. Yeah, you basically have to put in your credit card and buy the credits. Okay, buy the credits. It's in USD. Depending how you use, I would say that if you just for text, it won't be very expensive. Images will be more expensive. And also depends like how frequent that you're actually executing it. Yeah. So for this demo over here, I already have that key. I'll pass the key to you as well in a short while, and you can test out the system. Okay. So we'll do an API call, and then we write our program to make use of this. Okay. So later probably I can share with you the slides. This is how you can actually get a key. Yeah, I think I put in the slides here just to help you to get the key. Okay, so open the account, key. Okay, so now test your key. Now let me show you how to test the key. Of course, this one, unless you should have a code program. If you don't have a code program, it's fine. Let me see if this prompt has a code here. There's no code, so don't worry about that. I'll give you another program to do it. This one, if we are using Linux, you can do this test just to test the key. Yeah, I have a key. Let me give you this program where you can actually request it. Now, when we request to API, all right, usually there are two approaches. One approach is that we use a generic request. Another approach is that we go through its library. If you ask me, I think go through its library is much more straightforward. Yeah, it's go through much more straightforward. So what you need to do is to get their library. So let's come back here. Your command prompt, the project. Okay lah. Let me close it so that we start all over again. You have a better idea. So we don't jump in the middle somewhere. So let's start the command prompt. Okay, you just CMD it and then you run it. Now it is okay if you are using a PowerShell. Yeah, if you are running on Windows 11, basically it probably prompt a PowerShell. That is fine as well. After you install your Python, this is the first thing I need you to try out, is that you type Python and then you hit enter. Yeah, if you see something like that, it's good. Okay, you see something like that, it's good. You see, oh yeah, it actually recognized your Python command. So in other words, this shows that your installation is correct. So you remember just now when we started, I asked you to install, all right? If the installation goes well, you should able to run this already. Okay, then the next thing that you need to do is to go to your desktop and create a directory. So in this case, I'll create a directory, which I already created just now. So I decided just to use that test. All right. Now I already created the environment as well. So I'm going to use the environment. Yeah. If you don't have the environment, this is how you do it. Python -v env. Then you put in your environment. This is the name that you can put in. You can put any name you want. Now, usually for to avoid people from confusing, or I confuse myself, I will use the environment name same as my folder name. Okay, that's one way of I maintain the things easy for me to understand or I remember. So once I have that, you can just run the script to activate it. Once you activate it, you have this environment. Now, of course, some of you, if you don't understand why you want to do that, it's fine. Okay, you can write your code without environment. Okay, you can actually write your code without environment. You can still install it. The probably won't have much effect on you. But it is a best practice to have an environment, because sometimes if you are developing different software for different concurrently, sometimes you don't want the library to clash with each other and give you a lot of headache. So what we do is we create an environment to isolate our projects. Yeah. So basically that's the rationale behind doing this. If not, you can straight away, go to this desktop here, and then you can straight away code your thing. So in this case, in other words, you can just write code dot. Now, if you have Visual Studio code installed, then basically type code dot. Basically, you are good to go. Okay, so you're good to go. So I'm here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file. I call it test openai.py. So this one is the first thing I want to test. I just want to test, whether that my OpenAI code is working or not. Yeah. So let me do it. So for the first time, right? For the first time, if you try to from OpenAI import OpenAI. Yep. That's how you want to put it in. Guys, you don't have to type here, because I'm going to give you the code anyway later. So I just want to show you something. You realize that this way, once I put in this, there's this yellow line here, and then you start to tell you, hey, I cannot recognize this library. I do not know what is this. Yeah, I do not know what is this, and then we have problem dealing with this. So what do I do is let me try Python has OpenAI py letter. You say that, hey, no module name OpenAI. Yes, of course. So we have to install this. Now install this over here. You can do this pip install OpenAI. So this is the command that you need. Yeah, just one command to download the library, and then you hit enter. Of course, depending on your internet speed. If your internet speed then is fast, then you should get it done in a short while. Yeah, so you can see it's installing now. Give a moment, yeah, then give this guy a little bit time to install it. So this is basically installing the libraries, basically for Python to communicate with OpenAI. Yeah. So yep, my installation is done. So what I'm going to do now is let me close this terminal, open a new one. Every time once you install a new library, it's always good to open a new terminal. All right. So now you realize that the error line is gone. Yeah, perfect. So this is how we start. Okay. So the first thing, of course, just now we got the API key, which I'm going to give it to you as well. You get to play with. It's a very long one, so let me copy and paste. This is the key. So in other words, if you writing a software, this key is how the OpenAI recognize is you, and you want to keep it really, really secret. Okay, in other words, you're not supposed to share with people, other people. Otherwise, people using the OpenAI, you will have to pay for it. Yeah, so it's not fair, right? So from OpenAI, import this one. Okay. Then what I want to do next is I want to try out the engine, the completion. So this is how we do it. Completion equals to client dot chat dot completion dot create. Yeah, this is where I'm going to type in this. All right, so what model that we want to use? In this case, the model that we want is GPT 4.0.mini. I want to use the mini version because it's actually faster that way. Now, this is where you remember just now we have these messages that the prompt that we put in. Yeah, the prompt is actually right here. The prompt is actually in an array form. Now the prompt is actually in the array form, and in yeah, in this case, it will do this. I'll talk about the role later. Okay, in this case, I'll just say user, and this is content. Hello, how I'm asking ChatGPT. So imagine that this what I'm trying to do here is a bit. I know it's a bit weird. It's like I'm actually open up the prompt and ask the computer. Basically, I'm just typing, "How are you here?" Basically, it's just right here, but I'm doing it through the Python the API. Yeah, and then I want to see the answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print condition. This will be the answer from the the GPT 4.0 mini. This is the message I want. Let me careful. This is 4.0, not 4.0. Let me save this, and then let me run it here. Let me try Python test OpenAI. Now I should see some response if my key is correct, and if ChatGPT process my thing correctly, then it should show me an output. Otherwise, probably I'm gonna get some error. Yay! See, it says that the output is what the output is say. Hello, I'm just a computer program. Yep, which means our API is working. Now let me content as well. So this is kind of like a structured. So let's say I don't want to see the rest of the thing. I just want to see sorry, yeah, click something. I'm not supposed to click this one. This because this one is actually the PowerShell. So let me throw the PowerShell away. And I mean the answer is still there, but I just want to run it here. Yeah, just run it here, and this will work. Okay, so today you are in luck because the key is free for all. Thanks to our sponsor and organizer, we can actually use the key. So let me share this with you. The program, yeah. Let me see how I share the program with you. I have the. Do you still have the link? This right here. I have it here. Code share. Yes. I'm going to replace it here. Now, can you try to run this in your computer? If you have a Python library. Okay, I'm sharing you the link again. You can click here and get the code. Yes. Bear in mind, the key is only working for today. Okay, after the talk, I will turn it off already. And we have to thank to our organizer who sponsored this key. So run this. You should get some response. If you are a programmer like me, this should excite you already. You know that we can start to write program and do fantastic thing here. So in other words, we can put in things here and then get the output from ChatGPT. Of course, they say that if you want to make the more better response, you just delete the .mini thing, and then it will handle it will take away the what? What you want me to give you? What? Give you a picture? Give me a picture. What picture do you want? Okay, so you can actually delete this part of it, and you get the 4.0 version. If you want 3.5, yeah, there are some names lah. But again, if you ask me, the 4.0 mini is already very good, and it's actually rather affordable. Yeah, it's rather affordable compared to the earlier one. All right, so you can see. I hope that you find this is fun. So anyone doesn't get this part working? All right. Now I want to move on to the second part of it. Okay, second part of it. Now you realize that the code that we have here, let's say I ask ChatGPT to do this. So I ask the first question. You see, I can do this with this one. Let me do this. Show you a quick chat. Now I have a number. I need you to remember it for me. What number is that? 7552525. If you're old enough, you know what number is this for. So I'll ask the ChatGPT to remember for me, and then subsequently I'll ask what was the number that I asked you to remember. Then we just so you can see that this ChatGPT with the UI part one can do this for us, right? In other words, I'm asking it to remember for me, and then I'll ask this. Now you realize to do with this, okay? We do exactly the same thing, okay? Let me do this. I have a number, ask you to remember me. I'll replace it here. All right, so I'll just run the program. Let me save this. Save. Let me clear the screen. Let me run the program. Let's see what I get. You see, the output should be rendered almost the same. Up by any. I have a number, remember it for me. He says, I cannot store personal information. Just remember it. Remember for me. Maybe I should have the word, please. Why this fella don't want to remember for me? Please remember this number for me. Funny, yeah. So now I have to back the computer to do it. Now, let me try the other guy. Let me try don't use the mini version. Control save. I know I sound a little bit ridiculous, but yeah, bear with me in a while. So I ask it to remember for me. Why it doesn't want to remember for me? Later, then how do I demo the thing for you? This is new actually. So, sometimes, anyway, you can try it yourself. You can ask the ChatGPT to do this. Never mind, I have a number. I don't ask it to remember. I have a number, and what number was that? Yeah, I think I can do this. So I can just do it like that, but don't use the word remember. I just to play with it a bit more. A little bit more on that. Oh no, I shouldn't press this button. Close this. I don't have this. Let me see. What? Repeat the number. But I think you get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to do. I just want it to store the number for me. In other words. Oops. I mean, this guy it will still run here, but that's not a very good way. Yeah. In a way, you know that the number is actually into the system already. Yeah, the number is this. All right. Now, you realize that if I were to run the program second time, now, right? You say that, okay, the system already have a number. Let's say I don't have this. I just ask, repeat the number for me without saying anything. When I try to run again, you realize that this ChatGPT is has anemia, right? Forgotten what I've said earlier. Now this is very natural. This is very natural. When we call for API, right, it is actually what we call stateless. In other words, right, after you call for one call already, disconnect, and then you make another connection again, and then you call again. It is a brand new one. It's just like, you open up a brand new chat every time, and then a brand new chat every time. So every time a brand new chat, it has got the chat between the chat, it has got no relationship, so it doesn't really remember things. Now, if that is the case, then you'll find that the API is a little bit on the inferior type, because then how do I chat with the ChatGPT then? I mean, I cannot do follow-up questions. It will be a problem, am I right? So therefore, you have to solve this through the coding way. Yeah. So I'm going to show you how to solve this. So I show you it's actually stateless already. So basically, you ask for the first time, and then it's just a new second chat, a second established connections, or second session is completely blind or blank. So over here, so the next thing you have to do is chat continuation. Now, how do we do chat continuation? Do by this system user assistant. Okay, so this is actually one shot. We call it one shot example. Is that we, instead of just providing a question like what I did, we'll add in the role like that. Let me show it to you. In this case, I'll add in a role system. So I'll say that this is a generic instruction. System is basically a high level. So the content is that you are a personal assistant. You will follow instruction from user. Okay, for example, like that. And then you ask the model to say, okay, remember this. Now I think after I do this, right, it should able to remember it. So I given an instruction and ask it to remember it, and let me see if I can do it like that. Now again, the session now if you, I'm not sure you can see, but I hope my words the bottom is not the thing is not too small. You can see, got it. I noted the number. What would you like me to do next? Now, even so, right, it still cannot it still cannot remember. So in other words, we have got no choice but to figure a way and store the information locally. Yeah, store the information locally. So how do we do it? Basically, why I show you this format is that once the user once ChatGPT reply me this answer, right, I have to keep it, and then for the next prompt, I will have to feed it back into the system, and then you keep on going like that. So in other words, I need to store this information. Yeah, I need to store this information. So let me show it to you how to do that. Well, I will store the conversation into a file. Okay, conversation into a file, and I call this my memory. Now, this is a file stored in your local computer. It's nothing to do with the API or in OpenAI. They don't really care and bother about this. So what I need to do is I'm going to load. I have to have two functions. One is called load conversation. Now this conversation, every time when you put in something, it will actually take the whatever context that we have earlier and then put it back into the model, and then answer. We will save it. We have to save it. Save the conversation. Okay, we save the conversation. The session is actually a list. Conversation. All right, and what I'm going to do is for this, all right, I'm going to open a file. Let me avoid the silly mistake by writing it as file. Over here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just dump it to the file internet equals 2. Now this one, where do I get the JSON yet? I have to import it. I have to import JSON. I hope I install it. I should have, I think. So this one will actually save. So every time when we have answer, I'll put it inside here. and then I'll save. So this file will become bigger and bigger. And then the other ones, I need to import OS. Over here, I need to check if the file exists. Now, if it's not exists, which means if I don't have memory, I'll create a new one. If I have, I'll take it and read it. I need to open the file. And read, we're using a read as file. And then I'm going to return JSON.load the file. So I'm going to get the file and return it. Otherwise, return an empty thing. Now, this is basically to save the file, the conversation. Yeah. So the next thing is, let's start the chatting part. I'm calling this ChatGPT conversation user input. So this is the user input. This is a function. Now this function actually just to cover the whole thing up. I'm just going to wrap it inside here. So what happened here is that I will first store the conversation from the user into the role user. So this is what I want it to be. So that it stores it here. Content. In a short while, I hope it will be clear to you that why I want to do this. So in other time, you realize that this is the user input that the user enter, right? So I'm actually doing this. So every time you put it inside here, with the previous conversation, I'm going to add this into it. So in other words, you realize that I'm actually appending conversation into the what we have been talking earlier. And over here, instead of sending the message like that, I don't have to anymore, because I'll just send in the conversation, which is this, right? I appended it, conversation, and I'm waiting for it to reply me. The reply will be the response equals to this. Just now I display it, but now I don't want to display it. I'll just respond it straight, the content. And I also want to append the content into it as the assistant talking. So you can you realize that I'm actually storing the response into the file as well. So in other words, if you open up the file, you realize that it's actually our conversation history. Yeah, it's just a conversation history. So in this case, I'm going to return the assistant response. Okay, I'm just going to return the response. So I have 3 functions now. So I'm going to write the program now. So the idea is conversation equals to load conversation. So if I don't have this file, I will create the conversation. So excuse me, yeah. And then I will say that while true. Basically, I'm now making it to become just like ChatGPT, yeah. I will say that user input equals to input. Just to tell this is me. You say something. And of course, if user input dot lower equals to exit, which means I want to quit talking already. Then I'll just break this from this loop. Yeah. So once you do that, what I'm going to do is respond again. I'm going to call the function equals to ChatGPT, put in the conversation that we had earlier, right? And user input, which means this is the words that we put in. And then we just print the outcome from the computer. I will say ChatGPT. All right, so this would be the output response. So this one should return me the response over here. Okay. Yeah, of course, at the end of the day, after finish, I need to save the conversation. All right, so let's try run this program. So it's basically load, and then let's hope it work. Okay, we'll stick to the file. Let me run. Let me see if I have errors. No, no error. Hello. Then it will reply me. Then I will say, remember this number for me. Okay. What is the number? Perfect. Okay, now you see what I do is I exit the program. So I end the conversation. Yeah. Let's just stop the conversation. Okay, I clear it. So now what happened is that let me run the program again. Let's see if you still remember what we have been talking about. Number, did I ask you to remember? You can see, yes, the answer is back. Perfect. Now I hope you see what I'm trying to do here. So what we do is we're going to make the conversation it's actually remembered inside my memory here. So let me send this to you and you can have fun. Okay, let me go back to the code share here. Let me click refresh. Okay, I'll delete and paste you. Yep, you can have this now. So this guy will create a my memory file, so you can continue continuous chat, yeah, with your own application. I hope you find this is actually very helpful. Okay, let me see what else I want to share with you. One more thing. Okay. So I hope the app you find it useful, and now you know how to use the API, and then you start calling it. Now this is the beginning only, and this is the beginning only. So, once you get it comfortable, you can always start to it. Putting some content inside first before you even actually let your user to ask things. Yeah, or you don't even ask your user like what I did earlier. We just have to put in the content, and then it will work. Now, I would want to go a little bit next thing I want to share with you. Now, if you remember what Mr. Teo mentioned to you this morning about the parameter of your GPT large language model, something like that, temperature. I think I remember I think he did mention something a bit on this. Yes, you can play with this one. These are actually for you to adjust the characteristic of your model. So for instance, you want it to be a more creative or you want it to be more conservative, you can adjust the thing like, for example, temperature. Or maximum token, sometimes you want to control the incoming and the outgoing tokens. Because when you are playing with the model through the API keys, is actually being charged. So the charges is like this. Okay. Let me find you you can look at the pricing. So you can see how much we have to pay at the bottom here. You can see $5, this is US dollar for 1 million input tokens, and $2.50 for 1 million input token. This is batch output. Yeah, $15. Output is actually more expensive. So you can actually so for every request that you type in and out, we actually are paying for this. Yeah, and of course, image size is the same thing. If you have a bigger image, then it will be more expensive. Now, I'm not going to cover image today. I don't have enough time for that. But you get the idea. Okay, you get the idea. And all these things that you see here can actually be adjusted through the API as well. That's the fun part of it. Yeah, fun part of it. Over here, you can see I mentioned to you. Yeah, this is the customization of your model. You can done through the code. See this? I'm sure you see this code inside the code I gave you. Yeah, client chat completion rate. If you look at the bottom here now, you can put in the temperature token, present penalty, figure present. Now, before you code, yeah, you can actually always try it with the playground. Okay, so of course this one you have to have your API account. You have to register one. Then you come in here, you can play with the configuration here. And then if you're happy with the configuration, then you can put this configuration into your code through this part of it. Yep. Okay. I think I want to go on the next one. Okay, how you want to manage the charges? I just want to show you something. Like I want to see the tokens. Like you see when typing here, you know, we are so happily chatting. Let me show you, use back the older one. Oops, I didn't store the older program. Never mind. The response here, let me print it out here. I just print out just to show you that the charges. You can actually look at it how it works here. So let me print out. So once we have the I'm storing this one, but basically just to print out the token. The token information is actually stored inside the response. Yeah. So all you need to do is you can say that input token. I want to know how many token is taken inside when I put in. So where do you get it? The information is right here. Completion dot usage dot form. We call it the form tokens. Yep, perfect. So this is the input one. Then of course we have an output one. Because both of them, the charges are different. Yeah. So therefore, no point of adding them together. The output is called completion token. Yep. So that's how you do it. Now let me run this and you'll see. Oops. Why is this guy running? Okay. Let me save this. Let me run this again. Okay. So once I start to run my program, I'll say, hello. You see, how much token I put in? 247. Output 10. 10, which means it's this one. So yes, you will charge by this. Though this is like already 257 token use up. And how much was the token? Yeah, so you divide by the pricing over here. Okay. So 1 million token, $5. So if you're chatting a very long time, you burn the token very, very fast. Now, of course, the one that I shared with you just now, how to get the token, all right, is a little bit too late. If you come to think of it, it's a little bit too late. Let me copy this code for you. I know some of you want it. It's a little bit too late because yeah, I already use it, all right. Sometimes you say that, hey, I added over here. So if you don't want, you can just comment it out. Let me comment it for you. Otherwise, the output very ugly. Okay, so you can actually use this. But sometimes I say, hey, I want it to know it before I put in, right? That's more important. Yeah. So you can try something. You can use this guy. This guy is actually for you to measure it. So you can measure your input. For example, yeah, you can type here. Hello. Yeah. But just now the input token charged me so much extra. Actually, this hello is only one word. Oh, no, need that. Maybe 24 something, because this one I got memory. Inside memory has a lot of content. That's why it's 24 something. Hello, world, how are you? You see? You can see 8 token charge already. So you can try with this link. Let me give you this link as well. So interestingly, you can actually compute them. But again, this guy is a bit too slow as well. You can actually compute yourself, but maybe it's still too late. So another guy that you can try off is this. This is just a rule of thumb. I mean, anyway, this one you play yourself, you try yourself, you should be able to get the estimation. The fun thing is that you can also try to input other languages. It will just understand, so without any problem. Yep. Another one that you can do is you can install this library called Tick Token. Tick Token can help you to calculate. So you can calculate it before you put in. So in other words, you don't allow people to spend the money. So you can use this to control it. So you can put this in, and before the text is actually entered into the system, you can check first. So here, if the length is more than a certain amount, you probably want to stop from people from continue to abuse your system. Yeah. So this is one thing, especially when you open this your API to the public for people to use. Then this is very, very important. Yeah, this is very, very important. Okay, I think we want to create something fun. What I want to do is I want to develop something for you. This is it's kind of like a takeaway gift for you today. Okay, so I promise you I want to do a very fun app. So I'm going to do this app. I'm going to do a translator, which I like to that I use. You can put it in as a program, you run it and can use it daily. Okay, translator.py. Here we go. I'm going to do a translator for you, and I know you have this ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, but you have Google Translator. But Google Translator is very, I think, a little bit annoying in a way that I have to always what do you say? I have to always so-called open the app and to select the language, put the word inside. So can I have something like a little bit friendly? So like, for example, I just copy and paste. You automatically detect the language, just translate it for me. Yeah, so basically that's what I wanted to do. Now, for this one, right, we're going to need a UI. Yeah. In other words, I'm going to use Tinker. Now this is only I think this is only for Windows. It's for Windows, all right. This guy would be already installed for you, so you don't have to install anything. Okay. So I'm going to create my own app here. Root tk tk. Okay, so this is actually creating a UI lah. My translator. Last time, it takes a lot of people to write this kind of program, but nowadays we can do it like in less than 15 minutes, I think. Geometry is basically the size of my windows. I want it to be 400 multiply 250. You know how to do UI, right? So this is basically want to do a UI for it, but want to make it simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this. I'm going to add the text box. Text box basically is the one that for you to put in the text inside. Text, root, wrap the words, and height is the size. Height equals to 10, width equals to 40. It's a bit slow type here because I don't have my Copilot with me in this machine. I have it in the other computer. Now, when I have a Copilot, yes, my programming is turbo boost. Basically, it can read what I want to type before even I finish it. Right, in this case, but it's still fine. Yeah. I have a box. Basically, I need to have two buttons. Yeah. One button is to do the translation. The other button I want to select copy and all because I want it to be easy. I don't want to like use a mouse and do. I just want to press one button and then copy and paste. So therefore, I want to have two buttons. Of course, I need to have a frame first just to hold them. No worry, no worry. I'm not going to type this like take forever. Okay, I promise you it's going to be a short program. And yes, it's going to be a useful one. Let's create the first button. Button frame. This button I call it translate. Okay. Command on button click. Now this one is we call it a callback. Yeah. I haven't implemented that function yet, so yeah, it will give you this error, but don't worry about that for now. I have for button 1, button 2. This one I call select all and copy. Basically, just click on this button, it will select all and copy, so it's make our life easier. Button click 2, button click 1. Okay. If you are familiar with Visual Studio, I mean Visual Basic, yeah, you should get this. This will be pretty straightforward, similar to that. Left PA hat x equals to 5. Button 2. And this one is to get the program into the loop and run. Okay, so I think I'm done with my UI. So I can imagine that I have one top at the bottom. Yeah, I need to have these two functions first. Let me put in the function that this guy pass. Left button 2. Just pass it on. Sorry, this guy forgotten the right back. Okay. So I pass. I'm not going to, and I'm not implementing anything. I just want to test if my UI is working. Let me run this guy. So if you run it correctly, yeah, that's my translator UI. Nice, correct. So of course, no logic inside here, it's still empty. So I got this. Let me pass you this code first, yeah, before I put in the ChatGPT code inside. So that you're not so boring. Wait. I'll put it inside here. Okay. You put this code and you run. If you're running on a Windows, basically you don't really need install anything. Basically, you got this library built in already. Okay, you try this first. Then, yeah, if you get the idea, it's pretty straightforward from here because I am going to put the translation code here, inside here, the ChatGPT code inside here, because this is the translation guy who's going to do the translation. And this guy will be copy and paste. The copy and paste thing, we come back later. Okay, so I just want it to do translation first. So what I'm going to do is do the translation. You have the code earlier, right? Test OpenAI. So what I'm going to do is, see this, I'm going to copy this guy, return the content. I'm going to put it inside here. This is not a very computer science way of doing it. Usually we do it in a very modular way that we'll put it in different files, but due to time constraint, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to just put the code here. Usually we'll we'll put it in the different files and then make sure it is more so-called better one. Okay. Let me maybe put it into a function so that we don't mix the whole thing. Translate. You put in the text here. Yeah, so that yeah, this one looks a little bit better, but yeah, better than nothing. So you put in the text here. So the text will be inside here, but we know that this will be a square that we need. And I'm going to put in the row here. I'm going to say system. This is a system, it's the instructions that we give to the ChatGPT content. So this is the interesting part. Now, this is your prompt engineering skill set have to come in here. So what I'm going to say is you are a translator, multilingual translator, multilingual translator. You can okay, don't have to put too long already. Okay, just make it a little bit short. If you detected not no, given any language, translate it to English. Okay, if I can now because it's an AI, so it's very powerful. If you you were given English, translate it to Malay. Okay. You see, this one is the best part of it. The prompt engineering is, of course, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we can try. Okay, so this is the role. Basically, is that if any other language, turn it into English. If it's I give it in English, turn it into Malay. So this guy can do that. So now this is the role that I want to play with. Role. Then here, what role is this user? Of course, it's a user. The one that we key in. Content is text. This is a text that we put in. Okay, so this is a text that we put in, and we send it over to the ChatGPT model. I'm a cost saver. I'm using a mini version. Then when the results come back, just return it. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Return the results. So the translation function is done already. Now that's the fantastic part, right? Okay, so interesting thing. I have to do it here. So I need to x equals to, I'll get from the text box, not get all the text from the beginning to the end of the multi-line text box, and the translated text equals to translate, put in the text. Yep. So this one is to put in the text, and then where do I go to output? The output, I wanted to put it back into the text box. So in other words, it will delete all the whatever content I've putting in, and yeah, delete it. Okay, from the beginning to the end. Okay, and then the same text box, insert the latest one, the content starting from the beginning. Yeah, the rest, that's the translated messages I want it to be inside here. Yay! Well, let's check this guy out, whether or not it's working. So let me run here, testing 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So let me see, how are you? Translate, press the button. Yep. Oops. The module is not callable. Wait, must be some error here. Translate. Give me a moment to fix that for you. Copy the bracket here. Don't worry, give me a moment or two to check this guy out if I miss anything here. This one is correct. Something wrong here. I not open AI. Sorry for the silly mistake. Okay, that should solve the problem. Let's stop this. Let me run the terminal. Let me start the command prompt. Yep. Let me okay. Python translator. Run. I should have one here. Hello. Hello. How are you? Translate it. It should return me. Yeah, you see the answer? I hope you can see the screen. I know it's a bit too small. It says, "Hello dunia, bagaimana kabar Anda?" Right? Perfect. So let me give you this code. So you get to have this code, and yep, you have your personal translator. I hope you find it really fun. So if you need a translator, basically you just run this program, and yeah, you have this translator. Now, of course, now it's still not very user friendly because yep, you have to click the button, you have to select and copy. But that we can actually do it. You can actually do it yourself, I think. Yep, due to the time constraint, I think I want to stop here. So I hope you have this program, you can continue to make it more user friendly yourself, which is always my favorite to do it. Of course, if you want, you can actually email me here. Let me give you my email. Email me and I'll send you the entire code. Yeah. This is my email. Okay, remember the email. But do let me know who are you. Just don't just email me and say I want the code. Let me know, let me know your name, what do you want, then I'll reply you. Okay, so basically this is how we integrate it. And yeah, I think the ChatGPT is getting very, very powerful, and learning the API is one good things to do. We can turn our application into a super app. You can see that we write very little amount of codes, and we have our world universal language translator. If you come to think of it, you can translate any languages that we want. Yeah, so we can now add intelligence layer into our conventional software. You see, it just makes us become much more powerful than ever. Yeah, so to me, it's a very exciting journey. Yeah, so I guess I'm done. I'll have 15 minutes left with all of you. Feel free to ask me any questions you want to know. I'll see if I have the answer. I will try my best to answer you. Okay. So you have any questions for me? I hope I did not bore you. Let me write you my email address here. If you want the complete code, I'll pass it to you. So do you have any questions for me? If no questions, thank you very much for your time.是吗 ？Are you there?
OK，有在 OK，好。OK，如果没有其他的问题的话，就是我们谢谢我们的Dr. Oi，然后非常完整的那个讲 ChatGPT 啊。那如果有什么问题的话，就是一样 send 给那个 Dr. Oi 或者主办方这里哦。那我们明天第三场的工作坊就是下午1点到3点。啊，那个 Zoom 的 link 一样是这个 link。那谢谢大家今天的出席。
Thank you, thank you.
OK
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.
OK OK，拜拜。
谢谢，拜拜。还用其他的。